In the first part of the video regarding Christianity and Islam, we discussed about the origin of Islam, features and principles and spread of Islam as well as the spread of Christianity. Today, let us try to know about another important religion which is also a Semitic religion having its origin in the Arabic language and Hebrew and other Semitic languages. And in that category, try to know about the Islam. It is the second part of this chapter. Okay, as we already came to know the origin of Christianity in Nazareth province, here we have to know where this Islam was originated and Islam was born. This Islam was born in a Arabian desert area, Arabia. Presently, it is also called as Saudi Arabia. In that Saudi Arabia or Arabia, this religion was originated. And Arabia is one of a peninsula. It is a peninsula. What is peninsula? Peninsula means a area which is covered or surrounded by three sides water and one side the land, and that is called as a peninsula. And this Arabia is one of a peninsula and where this Islam was born. And the conditions of this Arabia is totally different from the conditions of Palestine, because Palestine is a fertile area as well as capable for growing the crops. But this Arabia is a desert area. The important occupation of the people is not agriculture, but they totally depend upon the trade as well as some cattle rearing, or they used to rear the sheep. It is about the peninsula and the geographical conditions of that area, and thus the people migrated to fertile lands in the search of grass. In the search of grass, they used to migrate from one place to another place. That's why the important character of the people of Arabia is migration. That's why even there are nomads. They have no any kind of particular permanent place, but they used to travel from one place to another place in the search of grass as well as for their sheep rearing. It is about the background of this Arabia as well as they have very less facility and less availability of water. And here are the places where this Islam was developed and Islam was flourished and grown. And the two important places is one is called as Mecca or Makkah, and another one is Medina. As for the life of the Mecca people, as the Arabian people, they have a long history. How there was a birth of different religions in that area, as well as when we go to the background of that country, the people of Arabia used to worship many gods. The many gods, and even they kept those gods in the holy Mecca, that is in the Kaaba. They were the worshippers of many gods and many objects. Before prophet, Arabs used to worship many deities. That may be in the form of nature, in the form of water, in the form of plants or trees, or various objects what we find in our India also. Even the present times, present days, the one religious people worship the various natural aspects like sun, moon, water, trees and all those things. Even in the Arabs also, they have such kind of habit of worshipping the nature, or even the stones and streams and different kind of deities they have. And it is about the background where still prophet is not appeared. And even in the beginning of the life of the prophet, the conditions of Makkah or conditions of Arabia were like that. It is if a brief manner, Islam is originated in Arabia. Arabia is what? It is a peninsula and it is surrounded by water, Arabian Sea, as well as the people of the Arabia are mainly have the trade as their occupation and even the sheep rearing. For that purpose, they used to migrate from one place to another place. More of the nomads will be found in them. And as far as the area of Islam, we are going to refer to important place. One is Makkah and Medina. And if we try to know about the background of Arab nation, before Prophet, Arabs used to worship many deities. Those are the natural things, are the sun, moon, and streams, nature, water, plants, such things they used to worship. Okay, in such a kind of background, here the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, our Prophet was born. Prophet was born, and we try to know about the early life of this Prophet, life of Payghambar Muhammad. Life of Payghambar Muhammad. Payghambar means messenger. Paygam in Urdu, it is a message. And Payghambar means a person who take the message from one to another. And here it is referred to the message of Allah was brought by, that is Muhammad, to the people. That's why he is called as the Payghambar. It is the meaning of the word Payghambar. Okay, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was born in Mecca. He was born in Mecca in 570 AD. Born in Mecca 570 AD. That's why early we came to know that this AD is also called as a CE, Common Era. Common Era. Okay, this was the birth, and he was born in Arab, and the parents of this person. In a brief manner, if you want to tell him about the birth, parents of this person was Abdullah and Amina. Bibi Amina. Abdullah and Amina. And this Abdullah married to this Amina, and when Amina was still pregnant, and during that time this Abdullah was died, and this is the now Prophet lost his father even before his birth. And after this Amina is responsible for bringing up this child, and he lost his parents during the very early, even when I think he came at the age of 6 years. This Amina, the mother of Prophet, was also died. And when these two were died, even before the birth, Abdullah was died, and when Prophet ﷺ was at the age of 60 years, this Amina was died. He was brought up by his grandfather, Abdul Muttalib. He is also a caretaker of Kaaba, and his grandfather brought up Prophet ﷺ, and after his death, after the death of the Abdul Muttalib, his uncle, that is the uncle of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, brought up him Abu Talib. The uncle of Muhammad brought up him, and this is responsible to in the company of this Abu Talib, he learned the trade, as well as he also visited many countries. Particularly, he visited the countries like Syria for business. He visited Syria for business, and after that He also visited the other various countries of the neighboring Arabia, and he learned and he got more knowledge. And when this was going on, he got an introduction to, he was introduced to one of a wealthy lady. Introduced to wealthy lady by name Khadija. And this Khadija sent a message to Prophet that she is willing to marry him, and at that time he agreed to marry. He agreed to marry, and he was at that time 25 years old. He was at that time, that is the Prophet was 24 years and Khadija was 40 years. He married an elderly and widow woman, and this is one of the important reform what was done during his time, because marrying a widow is considered as somewhat different thing, but now he that is a break that kind of tradition, and he married a widow at an age of that is 24 years, and from that lady he got some of the children. Later they had 2 sons and 4 daughters. 2 sons and 4 daughters. But the sons were died at a very early age, when they are very smaller one, and at the childhood itself the 2 sons were died, and later 4 daughters were there, and they were also brought up by this person. And here he conducted travel to various countries of the other for purpose of trade. During that time he got many experiences, and when Prophet Muhammad traveled to different places for textile business, he came to having a great contact with the Christians also. Contact with Christians. Contact with the Christians. They are also the followers of the Holy Book. They are the followers of Holy Book. And in this manner, he got interaction with those people. When he attained an age of, Prophet attained an age of 40 years. That is at an age of 40 years. He got enlightenment. He got enlightenment. And prophethood was honored and conferred by that is Allah God upon this Payghambar that is Muhammad, and from that time he became a Payghambar or messenger, and he was called as a messenger of God. He called himself as a messenger of God or prophet. What in the beginning itself I told you, Payghambar means a messenger who used to bring the message of Allah and convey to the people, and those messages were conveyed by the holy angel by name of Jibreel. Angel Jibreel used to convey the messages to prophet, and prophet used to convey those messages to the people. In this manner, this Payghambar started his teachings, and soon his principles became very popular. Initially he has to face many kind of hurdles in Mecca. The people used to beat him in the roads, and they used to throw dust upon his body, and even in many methods they used to disturb him. Then also he stood like a pillar in front of them, and he never hesitated and went on preaching the principles of the Islam. In this manner he became very popular among the disciples. When he was in a deep meditation, that is, he used to share his message with his disciples. That is, whatever he used to get the messages from Jibreel, and the same messages he used to convey to his disciples, and those are called as the disciples of Prophet were called as Sahabas. Sahaba, those who used to accompany with the Prophet, and they used to listen his teachings, follow them, and used to take those messages to the other people of the community and other parts of the world. These are the important kind of changes which were brought. And then such conditions, messages were compiled after the published later. Those messages which were came from the Almighty Allah, and those were brought together and those were written in a book called Quran. All those teachings were collected in the Quran, and the Quran is called as the Holy Book of Muslims. Holy Book of Muslims. It is about the early life as well as prophethood, as well as messages, and how he conveyed those messages. Later, Paighambar started preaching the principles in Mecca. Mecca was the first place where he started his preachings or propagation of this Islam. But what I already told you, he has to face many hurdles as well as many people who were the followers of polytheism, or those who used to consider many natural things as a god. They began to oppose him, disturb him, and because of that was the reason, here he traveled from Mecca to Medina, and the people of Mecca started opposing him. He traveled from Mecca to Medina. This is called as Hijrat, or this Hijrat beginning of Islamic calendar Hijri. Okay, this is the journey of Prophet from Mecca to Medina, and this is one of the important change in his life. And the people of Medina invited him very respectfully, and they surrender and given all type of that is financial and different kind of help to him, and wholeheartedly they welcome him and give the total control of Medina to them. And before the entry of this Islam into that Medina, that was called as Yathrib. Old name of Medina was Yathrib, and later that was considered as Medina. Medina means the city of Prophet, the city of Prophet. In this manner, this that is Medina became the center of propagation of Islam, or the capital of Islam in the beginning, and Medina became the one of a very popular city or popular area of the Arabia because of the presence of Prophet Muhammad. And this journey took place in 622 CE, 622 CE, the common era, and that is the beginning of the Islamic calendar. Islamic calendar was began from that time, and here the people of that is Medina welcomed him in all sort of things. They gave their help to him. Finally, they became the follower of the religion propagated by this prophet, and the whole of Medina converted to Islam. And this is about the journey as well as Hijrat. Let us try to know the important aspects or teachings of Islam. As this religion became very popular, and presently it is the second largest followers religion in the world, what are the important teachings of Islam? Among the important teachings of Islam, the first one is God is one. Already in the Christianity also, this principle you already came to know. God is one and Prophet Muhammad is his messenger. Or here, a simple prayer is enough to win the heart of God. A simple prayer is enough to win heart of God. What in Islam it is called as Allah. Here, God is one. There is no any God except Allah. La ilaha illallah means there is no God except Allah, and it is a simple prayer. Even you are not require any kind of lavish things or any kind of that is costly things to please the God. Just you make yourself heart clean and stood before the God and pray Him. That is enough. He never require anything from you, never require any kind of vegetables from you, he never require any kind of fruits from you, he never require any kind of money from you, nothing he require, because he is the giver. He is responsible to give everything what you can give to him. He is created all the things and he is feeding all the things. The whole that is creatures are feeded by him, means he is not required anything from you. Just you have to simple prayer, obey him, obey his orders and lead a life. That is very essential. A simple prayer is enough to win the heart of God. It is one of the important teaching. One should lead an honest and principled life. One should lead the honest and principled life. Honesty is very important. You should not adopt any kind of falsehood in your life, and always that is a honest and principled life, a life of principles. You have to adopt certain principles in your life, and that will be influence others. It is one of the important teaching of Islam. One should have respect for women and compassion for the poor. Respect for women, compassion towards poor and sick. Poor and sick. It is also one of the important teaching. Here, respecting women. Why this is highlighted in that time? Because in Arabia, women is considered as a very low class citizen. Very disrespected position was for women, because they consider the birth of a girl child is a matter of that is their popularity will be decreased, as well as different kind of concepts in their life, in their mind. They consider women as a burden. Women as a burden, and it is a shameful act to have it. The Arabs consider the girl child as a burden and used to bury alive. In such a condition, Prophet came to the people, and he is responsible for preventing such kind of inhuman activities among Arabs. This is that's why respect for women is very important principle of teaching of this Islam. And having compassion towards poor. The poor were considered as very that is weak people there, as well as even slavery is very common, and that's why he told the people to have compassion towards the poor as well as the sick people or the deceased people. They are the important teachings. Let us try to know about the rituals of Islam or the principles of Islam. Basic teachings of this Islam, those are called as the rituals of Islam. There are 5 basic rituals or tenets of Islam. One is the kalima. that is also called as Shahada. Kalima. Kalima means that is there is no God except Allah. Believe only in Allah, Muhammad as his prophet. Believe in Allah and Muhammad as prophet. It is the first teaching of Islam. If one is having belief in Allah and having no belief in that is a prophet, he is also not a Muslim. And one who is having belief in prophet but no belief in Allah, he is also not Muslim. Muslim means that is one should have belief in Allah as well as the prophet is very important. It is the first and basic tenet or principle of Islam. Without this one, no one can be a Muslim according to this Islam. Okay. Second important one is namaz, prayer. Every Muslim is required to pray in a day for 5 times. Prayer for Allah for 5 times a day. Prayers to Allah 5 times a day. In the early morning, that is called Fajr, and in the noon, that is called Zuhr, and in the evening, that is called as Asr, and that is during sunset, that is called as Maghrib, and in the late night, that is called as Isha. These are the 5 times a day one Muslim has to perform the namaz at any cost. Nobody is accepted from this performing of namaz. Every Muslim, whether he is able to, that is physically fit, he has to perform in a standing manner physically. If he is unable to sit, there is a stand he has to perform by sitting on a chair or any place, and he is unable to sit there also, he is to perform the namaz even by there is a sleeping or in a sleeping mode. Here at no cost the namaz is that is every Muslim has to perform this one namaz. And next is the third is Roza. In the month of Ramzan, 30 or 29 days, one has to observe fasting. That is called as a Roza, fasting. From morning to evening, he has to refrain himself from any kind of eatable things or drinking or any other physical activities. Also some physical activities also avoided. That is called as fasting or roza. That is the third one. Next is zakat. Zakat. Every wealthy Muslim, those who are capable of having money, definite sum to be spared in their income to give to the poor. Some part of income to poor or government also. That is called as a zakat. Means it is depend upon the wealth he is possessing. 2.5% or 2% of the wealth what he is having, that has to be spared or give to the needy people or poor people and even to the government in those days. In the next is Hajj. Hajj or pilgrimage to Mecca. Pilgrimage to Mecca. Those who are having capable, those who are having money, financially, physically, also fit to go to Mecca and perform the Hajj, it is also one of the first or one of the basic rituals of Islam. At any cost, a person who is having wealth as well as even physically fit, he has to go there and perform the Hajj. This is compulsory for each and everyone, and it is also compulsory for everyone in all conditions. and these rosa is also compulsory, but for the deceased people, that is there is some concession and relaxation. And zakat is for the wealthy people, and hajj is also for the wealthy people. This is about the rituals of Islam. And next, try to know about the next concept is expansion of Islam. How this Islam spread into the various parts of the world. Expansion of Islam. As we came to know in the early, that is about the expansion of Christianity. In a similar manner, this Islam is also spread to the various parts of the world. What are the favorable things, or why this religion spread to the various parts of the world? The first important causes for its growth. Which growth? Growth of Islam. The first one is simplicity. Simplicity of religion. That is also simplicity of Islam is very important. Islam is not a complex religion. Even a layman, even a common man also can understand that Islam, and it is very easy to follow. That's why the simplicity of Islam is attracted the people, because no lot of rituals, lot of any kind of ceremonies, or any kind of that is costly things to be spent here. Here, a simple manner, even a rich person also can follow, even a poor person can also follow, a middle class person also can follow, a healthy as well as even deceased person, even in any manner one can follow this Islam. It is also a cause for its spread. Then efforts of caliphs. Efforts of caliphs. Who are caliphs? Caliphs are the successors of Prophet. After Prophet, the administration and each and everything was taken into the control of caliphs. The first caliph was Abu Bakr, after him Umar, and after him Usman, and after him Ali and Muawiyah. Like that, many caliphs were there. Among those, 4 are very important. During their time, the Islam was spread in the various corners of the world, particularly during the time of Umar. Umar, during this time, he sent the messages to various parts of the countries, and during this time, the Islam was spread to the various parts. It is also one of the important things. One is devotion of Muslims. Devotion of Muslims means every Muslim have one responsibility. What he knows one thing, he has to convey that thing to the other. It is one of the important responsibility. According to Islam, Muhammad is the last prophet and last messenger. After him there will be no any prophet, and the work of this prophethood, or sending the messages and conveying the messages, is the responsibility of the every Muslim, because it is also said in the Quran, kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat lin-nas ta'muruna bil ma'ruf wa tanhauna 'anil munkar. One of the important verse which is found in the Quran that says that you are the best chosen people who adopt the righteous path and righteous way, and even that you convey to the others. It is also the devotion of Muslims for the spread of Islam is also responsible for its growth. And next is the religious interest of sultans. Religious interest of sultans or the rulers. Even in the Eastern Asian countries as well as Central Asian countries, many sultans are there. Even in our India also, many of the Muslim rulers also devoted their attention towards the spread of Islam. It is also a result of that one. In India, that is the largest Muslim community is found when we compare to the other countries. Here, because of the interest of sultans also, this religion was spread in our country. And next is the conducive political situation, favorable political situation. Conducive political situation, because in the medieval times the whole world was in the dominance of Muslims, and because of the favorable political conditions or situation in that time is also responsible for the spread of Islam. Okay, I think you came to know about how this Islam was spread and causes for its spread. Growth, simplicity of Islam, efforts of caliphs, devotion of Muslims, religious interests of sultans, conducive political conditions are responsible for the growth and spread of Islam. Okay. After this, I think you have already came to know about the origin and the conditions of Arabia and growth of Islam and early life of Columbus, and then about the teachings of Islam or the even rituals of Islam and causes for the spread of Islam. Next is contributions of Islam. Contributions of Islam. What are the important contributions? As we already came to know about the contributions of Christianity, in a similar manner, what this Islam gave to the world. The first important contribution of this is in the field of medicines. Much of the present medicines also having their origin to the Islam, and particularly the measles and other diseases. Measles and other diseases, and the cure were found by or invented by or discovered by the Muslims. It is also their contribution. New inventions in science and mathematics. New inventions in science and mathematics. Mathematicians like Al-Khwarizmi, that is even scientists also there, and even there is Al-Jabir, and many important scientists also contributed for the development of invention of various scientific instruments like astrolabe and compass, and many instruments which were helpful for the sea voyage also discovered by them, and it is also the knowledge of astronomy, the movement of stars, and so many books are written by them. It is also their contribution. And third important contribution of them is the spread of knowledge built by medieval Arabs. Spread of knowledge. Knowledge of various fields also responsible, particularly geography, astronomy, astronomy, and so many fields also they covered by them. And Islam influenced the art and architecture. Islamic art and architecture. They have different kind of art and architecture and style of buildings. In the buildings they have the minarets, arches, doors, windows, and these are the calligraphic writings. All these are the important inventions and findings of Islam. They are also one of the contributions of Islam. Okay, the last concept of this chapter is sects of Islam. As in the Christianity, two sects were originated: Orthodox Christians, Catholic Christians, as well as the Protestant Christians. In Islam also two important sects are there. One is called as Sunnis and another is Shia. Sunni and Shia are the two important sects which were developed after the Prophet, the success of Prophet Muhammad are known as Caliphs. They became the religious and political leaders of Islam and during their time, two important sects were born. One is called as Sunnis and another is called as Shia. And here, this is the completion of this chapter. As far as this chapter is concerned, I think you have got all the ideas. If you find any kind of problems, little bit problems, you can write in the comment section. As well as while watching this video, you have to keep one notebook and a pen. And important points what I mentioned upon the board that you have to write in your book. That will be a very helpful notes for you. And for further development of this channel, you have to subscribe this channel and share as well as like this channel. Thank you.